Oh, starting on this course, Unit 10. We know that we're on the Unit 10 here, it's level here. We know that we are logged in here. So we start by opening this section here, and we have the blue indication here, which is the unit intro. So we come to the first page. Once we've reached the first page, it may have very little on it, so we can mark it as complete. We can then move to the next unit. We can see where we are by the blue colour here, the blue highlighted area, and that indicates that we're actually on that page there. We can see that we've already read through that green page there. We can read the contents of the page, which in this particular instance is telling us where we are within that. Once we've completed and read the information, we click on that button, then we go on to the next unit. So again, we're looking at the information provided, the content on the left hand side here. We are on the blue line there. We have read all the information there. We can zoom in and out on those sections there. We can mark as complete. We can move on to the next unit. As each unit is progressed, further down the screen, we see on the green side the sections completed. We find the filling in section here, and we're then able to put the relevant content and add more information just by going to the next section. Each section can be filled with information and completed, and that page is now done. Now there are some sections that are going to be easy to be done, others are less so. I shall explain in a minute the reason why. So we've completed that. Once it's completed, we can move as completed onto the next unit there, and the information then loads onto the next page. So relatively simple in that respect. Now some bits will be more complicated depending on exactly what we're doing, but as we go through each page, more information is provided, the next unit, etc. Each page is a separate unit. The filling in section here, it does tell you let's get started. It requires in this case numbers. These will be mandatory, and each page has to be filled in and goes directly through to the system as is. So in this case I am just putting a bunch of numbers because although this is in requirement, the assessor will see all the information. Some of these sections will be mandatory. This is black at the moment, indicating that we have to provide the information. So you can mark it as complete if you wish, but that would mean that the system will not provide you with all the info. It can't be signed off at the end of the day without the data being input. So we hurriedly go through this. This is quite an in-depth, and this is going to be a patience testing one for a client as we do it, simply because of the amount of data that will be required, numbers to be filled in, etc. It doesn't have an auto add. It's not designed as an Excel or anything like that. But the reasons for us using this particular software become relevant further on in the video. So I'm just going to say that we're going to do all this actually in this particular instance, and the reasons will become clear because we want to see that particular done bit changing color once all our bits and bobs are filled in. Some of this is not going to be mandatory. Depending on what the candidate has to fill in. Now we see we've gone to the orange section, so we know it's completed, and yes, it's good, ready to go. So that's quite a lot of data that can be filled in. Now there may be occasions, in this particular instance, we're actually going to want to make sure it works. So we're going to fill in enough info to submit. There's a reason for this. We have the unit income expenditure there. It states it's completed, so you know it's completed. You can mark as completed. You just have to push that button there. The information also becomes available in a PDF format. That is being sent to the assessor. So again, that information is already there. And we're straight away loading up onto the next section. Again, we've got to agree in each case about this records, which might be slightly frustrating, but in some cases we're going to be dealing with the assessor as well. We're going to be dealing with somebody who is going to have a requirement of information provided, and this is where it comes. One of the key things about this is that we actually produce our date, we confirm it. Now that's gone to red. It doesn't require the assessor's signature in this particular instance. Now if the assessor is online with the person, they can sign it as well, but in this particular instance we can go to done. Yes, it's good to go, and it's gone off, marked complete. And that's as simple as that. It's a nice, quick, effective way of going through. I've taken you through the first couple of modules there, as you can see, so this is an indication that the facility actually does function. Thanks very much indeed.